you are still going through the stuff and all that. But once you're in, you should have a screen that looks similar to this, and it should have you joined the right class, and it should say 2243 Chem 101E, all of that, and have my name on there. So if you click on the homework tab, you'll notice that there are 2 homeworks open already. Homework 0, which closes on February 19th, which is kind of when I'm expecting to do test 1. And then chapter 1 homework, which closes on Sunday at 11:49 p.m. I'll probably move that to Monday since we're off on Monday anyway. But that's where it is. So when you go into it, I'm going to go into the math one real quick. The math one is going to have some like algebra 2 type problems, algebra 1 problems, just general math skills that you need to kind of have for chemistry. So you can work through those. In the textbook, the PDF textbook, if you want to write this down, starting on page 770, there's kind of like a math review appendix that has some general things and all of that might help you through some of these things. All right. So, for example, I'm going to click on number 9 on mine. I don't know if it's going to be the same number 9 for you. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's not letting me zoom. All right, let's try this. All right. So going in, zooming in on this, the question says convert 86% to a decimal. So remember, for converting a percentage to a decimal, you're just dividing by 100. So that is 0.86. I enter that in. I click done. It puts it in there. And then I'll click submit. If it's right, it tells you correct. If it's wrong, it tells you have 2 more attempts, and you try that. All right. I do have some teacher rights on here. I don't have a lot. Every once in a while, and some things I can submit to the professor, and the professor can reopen a question at times, but it's only specific circumstances. So don't try to overuse that. Sometimes when the assignment closes out, Dr. Sri will let me reopen it for a time and things like that, where I can reset some things for people to get higher grades on Southeastern, but I don't like to change the grades on the Power School that much. All right, so going through there now, that's the math one. Remember, you have a month to finish that one, so I'm not going to focus on that one as much. Coming through here for chapter 1, notice that there are 12 questions on it. We have already went through chapter 1 for the most part. So by show of hands, how many of you are already logged into Active and all of that and are able to get in there? All right. So those of you that are not in for this, you may have to come back and rewatch this video to get some of it, but we're going to go through, if we have time, we're going to go through these questions right now. All right. So looking at question 1, if you can open up your question 1 right now, you can answer it as we're doing it. A theory is another word for a model. All right, and so that tells us it's correct. We can move on. Which of the following is not a step in the scientific method? All right, modifying laws. What is the definition of a scientific law? All right. So it gives an overall explanation of a natural phenomenon. It may be this one that says it summarizes an observable behavior, but I'm going to try this one first. And so that tells us it's wrong. All right. All right. So the correct answer was it summarizes an observable behavior. Remember that laws are summaries. All right. Number 4. Which of the following terms describes what a doctor forms when treating patients prior to ordering medical tests? A hypothesis. Number 5. The law of conservation of mass is best described as which of the following statements? Matter can neither be created or destroyed. All right. Which of the following hypotheses is testable by using the scientific method? So can we truly test that all men are mortal? All right. Let's see. The best color is blue. No life exists on other planets. All swans are white. Swimming is fun. The one that I would say that are that was actually pretty good. I would say, yeah, all swans are white are the one that's most testable because we can breed swans and see over a couple generations if we ever have a different color. Which of the following is the first step of the scientific method? Observation. Now, again, I don't like to say that there is a first or last step. Beyond observation, everything's kind of free-flowing. There's no direct order of them. Which of the following best categorizes the idea that the rate of reaction is dependent on temperature because the rate ultimately depends on the frequency of collisions, da 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 da. All right. So notice that the rate of reaction depends on the temperature. So we're saying that if we change the temperature, we'll change the rate. This is either going to be a hypothesis or a theory based off of that. So if it's not a hypothesis, let me try theory. And don't try it until I try it. Yes, theory is correct. All right. So it's saying there's something that's happened over that we've tested this multiple times. All right. It's not the first time we've tested that. Which of the following is not a type of scientific observation? Yeah, I was just looking because we just talked about quantitative and qualitative. Direct would be part of the qualitative, indirect would be quantitative. And then hypothetical is just in your mind. Hypothetical. All right. Which of the following is not true of a good hypothesis? So when it says it includes a null hypothesis, that means it includes a hypothesis that could be false. It's experimentally testable. It's phrased as an if-then statement. It must contradict previous theories. It could explain an unexpected observation. Of the one that's not true, it does not always have to contradict. You can be right, but you don't go in expecting to be right. Number 11, which of the following is not an example of matter? Light, because light is energy. And then number 12, for something to be considered matter, it must have mass and volume. So this one is one that's the best answer because takes up space is true, mass only is true. This is not totally true because it doesn't have to be visible. So the best answer is mass and volume. All right. So again, going through this, hopefully, if you weren't able to get in today, hopefully we'll be able to get you in tomorrow and get you caught up on that. And so, just make sure as you're setting up